Welcome to the Truck Stop Show. Today we are at Clifford Truck Show in Clifford, Ontario to find out who is to be blamed for trucking culture to fade away. So there's some accountability, there's some talks about the government, and there's some talks about beautiful looking trucks. So let's get into this. Drive this thing? You gonna talk to us? It's a single axle, eh? So how's modern day trucking?
It's definitely changed in the last bunch of years. Like, the courtesy is not there as it was 20 years ago. Just relying on technology more than we need to.
So how do you define trucking culture?
Definitely a brotherhood. Guys stick together.
It's like a brotherhood, I guess. There's still a lot of us that do treat it the same as it's always been. Like, stop, meet up, hang out, run together, and don't let like the clock and rules kind of dictate what we do.
So what are some of the problems with modern day trucking?
Too much regulation. There was way less crashes and stuff when I didn't have to look at a clock all day and say, oh, I gotta go. And it was just a lot more fun because it's like, oh, my buddy's a couple hours behind us. All right, I'll wait. Like, whatever, we'll just truck a little bit later tonight. Like, too much like politics or government control of it to tell us how to do our job. You can't fix it at this point. Like, it's just broken. How do you fix it when it's such a big problem, like accidents and violations and stuff like that? Like, where do you start without shutting down the entire industry almost and just starting over? I guess let a guy run when he wants to run, let a guy sleep when he wants to sleep. Don't sit there and stare at a clock saying, oh, it's bedtime now, then you're not tired or whatever, right? Like, where I get tired in the afternoon. It's like, well, if I stop now, I can't make it home because I'll have no hours. Like, that's not the right way either. It was so much nicer before. Let the sun wake you up. When it's warm inside the cab, it's time to go trucking.
This is resistance. This truck show is resistance, in my opinion.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, in a way. Yeah. They all are, right? Like, don't drive across the country to Ottawa and do it. You might end up in jail.
You don't see this too often.
It's 1986 Ford LTL 9000. 13 speed, 400 big cam Cummins in it, all mechanical.
Still runs?
Oh yeah.
What do you haul?
Oh, this is just a show pony. This thing doesn't go to work.
Lack of training, lack of respect.
This isn't a job, it's a lifestyle.
We don't train enough. We throw people in trucks. We have a culture of untalented drivers on our highways. They throw themselves a set of keys, give them a day of training. Here's your load, go get it. And with these automatic trucks, you're taking a lot of skill out of the industry. All we're doing now is setting people up for failure.
In truck, you can't fail in trucking. You know what failing means in trucking? Lives.
It's not just the guy that's driving the truck's life. It's everybody on the highway. It's everybody in a parking lot. It's just like, it's crazy. And our government has a huge problem of paying half the wages for these temporary foreign workers that are coming in. They are the untalented. What we need to do is invest in people. If they're not ready to hit the highway, don't let them hit the highway.
Because they're going to take some lives.
Of course they are.
They are not trained. A lot of people in danger because they don't know what they're doing.
You guys don't drive? No. I don't believe you guys. So there's a lot of criticism on Indian drivers.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Community has like good and bad people.
Like people notice only the bad things, right?
Yeah.
But then why don't the Indian community stand up for this?
Our people don't support each other, right?
Well, like within the Indian community?
Within the Indian community, yeah.
I think as an Indian truck driver, it is very dangerous to be on the road right now. The kind of stuff I see online.
The videos from the Indian guys who did the accident, people share that much, right? Mostly white people share that. But as compared to if any white guy or any people like from other community, they don't share their videos, like, right? So even the number of accidents, as per my knowledge, if you compare the ratio, it is same. If we say out of 100%, if 5% of the drivers do accident, right? It's in white community same. So like the people always notice the bad things. Like on social media, they promote and share the bad things.
Promote hate.
If you are on road, if you see like number of accidents, then you come to know.
You're the brown truck driver, I'm the white truck driver, I hate you, you hate me. Yeah. You get the point? Yeah. So basically there's a division on the road, and sometimes I feel it's systematic. Yeah. It's being fed into the people's mind that, like, oh, you're supposed to hate them and they're supposed to hate you.
I want to tell you one story.
Yeah,
I saw one story on the Facebook. In California, there's a white guy. He has a problem with his truck, and he also mentioned that nobody stopped for him. But our community, like a South Asian community, two guys pulled their truck and helped him. And after that, he posted their story on the Facebook. he already mentioned their own community didn't stop for him. So nobody's.
But that's real trucking.
Yes,
That's
I can
real
show the
trucking.
screen
So
for
this
that.
is the brotherhood.
Many drivers from our community, they stopped on road if somebody need a help, right?
Yes.
Not just for our community, for other guys too.
Nowadays, more than 50% of young people come into this because of the money. Not because they are fond of trucking or they like trucking, they like being on the road. No, they just come for the money. So they need to understand that this is a lifestyle, this is not a job.
So why is this important to keep the trucking culture alive?
Oh, got to keep it alive for the next generation to enjoy these times, you know.
What are the times?
Oh, the 80s, the 70s, those were lots of truck stops and places to stop at. You know, now you can't even get a parking spot. It's a different world with the trucks.
Trucking moves this country, it moves the whole world.
If it wasn't for trucks and farmers, we wouldn't have anything. That's what keeps it going.
I mean, it's something that built this country, it built North America, it built the U.S., it built all countries. Trucking's universal. The entire world depends on it, right? Wherever you come from.
You gotta have respect for everybody, right? You're supposed to be, it's pretty much brothers. It's a brotherhood. And that's how you gotta be.
Is it gonna stay like that?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
Because that's what moves everything around. Trucks.
But there's a lot of challenges, right?
Yeah.
What are those challenges? Let's talk. I'm basically here to talk about challenges with modern day trucking.
The government.
Okay, what can government do?
Everything about the government in trucking is the problem with trucking.
So why didn't truck drivers do anything at all in the policy making?
Right.
Why not?
Well,
basically, I'm blaming you.
Well, they were busy working, and we thought it was going to stay that way forever almost.
Well, there's many things that went wrong. The government and their silly rules, and people just don't care. We're treated like not even a second class. We're treated like a third class citizen, and I don't.
This is getting to me.
I don't like that.
This is getting to me.
That's the part I don't like.
So what do we need to do then?
I don't know if we'll ever get it back because I don't think people care.
With new drivers these days, they don't care. They have no respect. They have nothing. It doesn't matter to them. It's not a way of life for them. It's just a job. And it never used to be like that. You used to take pride in what you did, and now there's none of that. It is not even remotely what it used to be. It used to be everyone had common courtesy and respect, and now everybody is me, I'm going to be ahead of you, and they drive like fools to do it. The older guys are not willing to take the new guys on because they're more willing to go fast and not pay attention and learn anything.
So how many years?
5.
5 years?
Yeah.
So you're the most experienced guy here?
That's pretty bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of it's just lack of respect. The guys out there, they want to be first all the time on the road, and I'm not pointing to anybody in particular because
I know you are.
No, I'm not. Everybody does it. No, I'm not.
I know it.
No, I'm not. Honestly.
I'm joking.
I know, but everybody does it there. They all want to be first. They all, they're all.
Everybody's very selfish nowadays.
Yeah.
That brotherhood,
exactly.
The courtcy is fading away. That's what the culture was. You never seen the good old days, right?
No,
but you heard stories, right?
Yeah, I've heard.
What is there memories being built right now?
Yeah, I just have to look a little harder to find it. That's all. Find the right guys, and depends on what kind of trucking you're doing too, right?
Trucking culture, it's a family, I suppose. It's a group of people who love the industry. It's a group of people who feel connected by nothing else than just the business that we're in. Trucking culture, as much as it's changed over the years, when you come to a place like this, you still feel the connection, right? You still feel the faces or the trucks that we see on the road. When we come to a place like this, you put the face to the truck, and you just make the connection that you don't get in any other industry. So that's to me, that's the culture, and it's one of the only industries that seems to have that connection. So that, to me, that's the trucking culture. There's always been problems. We talk about the good old days back in the 70s and 80s, but goodness, I wouldn't want to go back. That's a problem, you know.
So you would think otherwise?
Well, I mean, you think about the 70s with no air ride seats and no air conditioning. You got crawl through sleepers. I mean, that's a problem, right?
Milk carts.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the trucking industry is always changing. It's always evolving, devolving, call it what you want.
A truck driver paramedic?
Yeah.
6'10"? That's quite a combo.
Yeah, 11 day cabs that I don't fit in. But yeah, I work for a paramedic service here in Ontario. I've never been able to leave trucking entirely. It's always been something that's still here, something that I want to keep doing. I mean, I come out to this show after working a night shift last night on the ambulance, see my friends, see people that I've known for a long time.
But isn't all of what you talked about fading away?
It feels like it. It feels like it some days, but I think at the core of it, I think it does still exist. I think at the end of the day that, you know, when you get out here and you see these shows, these truck shows, and the truck stop show, that maybe that's something that can hang on to it, can bring it back, you know what I mean? Because I think that the difficulty we have is like rates and, you know, trying to pay the lowest rate.
Everything changes. Farming's changed too. We farm, like that's why we have trucks now, and it's just everything's changing. Farming's changed. It's more aggressive. It's not as friendly. It's not as much community. It's different. It's people don't. It's not as much community anymore. Like on the road, you used to talk to people in CB, and now you don't hear nothing anymore. Well, everything depends on trucks. Nothing gets anywhere without trucks.
Well, I'm telling you, truck drivers are very important.
People in cars don't realize that the people in trucks that they disrespect every day and cut off every day actually put food in their grocery stores, put food on their plates, make everything they have in life happen. Like you wouldn't have a house without a truck, you wouldn't have a shed, you wouldn't have nothing without a truck. And nobody realizes that, which is tough.
Whatever you buy, a truck brought it. One way or another, a truck brought it.
What truck do you have? Tell us briefly about the truck.
It's 1984 Peterbilt 359. It's 4 1/4 cat, 6 1/4. 270 wheelbase. It's got a 72-inch double eagle. Just kind of painted my colors and kind of my style.
It's 2004 Freightliner FLD, Cat C12, 18 speed.
Single axle, which you don't see too often.
No. Pretty much the only thing original to this truck is the motor.
Cool. So this is a cab over for those who don't know. So cab over truck and a long nose truck.
Sometimes it's nice with a cab over, you can tilt the cab and everything on the engine is right there. This type of stuff is fading away, yeah, and it's just good that people are keeping it going.
So how's the turnout?
Oh, it's great. We had a little bit of rain today though, but nothing deters us, right?
So half the show we talked about was rain.
Yeah, I know, every year.
In July and rain, you know.
Well, it keeps the dust down, right? So I call it like a, dust control, right? So no, it's been good. They still come out, lots of spectators, lots of trucks. I'm not sure what the count is. I think it's over 250, the count of trucks, so, which I'm happy with. So see you next year.
Indeed, yes. See ya. Thank you for watching the Truck Stop Show. Look behind me. A lot of cab overs, a lot of long nose trucks, and we'll see you guys next Sunday.